Thank you so much for staying with us, everyone. We're still talking about the Rivers rerun scheduled for December the 10th, 2016. The Minister of Transport, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, served 2 terms as governor of Rivers State. And as a governor, he had a rough time with the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. Well, some heavyweights in the PDP also didn't have a good time with Mr. Amechi before he moved on to the APC. He accused then the government of using the federal system to fight him. This time, Governor Wike says he's also doing the same. A heavyweight in the party and a candidate of the APC in the Rivers rerun and the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District, Senator Magnus Habe, joins us now. Many thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you, Sean.
You listened to the conversation that we had with Governor Wike, and the allegation is that your party, the APC, have perfected the rigging plans with the police and INEC. Why would you want to do that?
I was quite amused by some of the things I was hearing from the governor of Rivers State. First, let me say this. I think sometimes it's important that before people take on certain offices, you really need to understand what is expected of the office that you hold. I believe that in all this, part of the problem we're having is that probably the governor of Rivers State has not taken time to study the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to understand his role as the governor. If you're accusing us of using the federal government to try to rig the elections, for example, what is the evidence of that? To begin with, this same system that we're running is the same system that conducted the elections that installed him as governor. There is nothing that has happened so far that shows in any way that anybody has done anything other than what their constitutional responsibilities are. If anything, the PDP in Rivers State has received a lot of help from INEC. And I have said it before, I can count the number of favors that INEC has done for the PDP. Let me mention one favor that INEC has done for the APC in Rivers State.
You've wanted favor from INEC, but they've not given you something.
No, we don't want any favors from INEC. What we want is a level playing field where all the parties can compete fairly.
When you say favor, which favor are you talking about?
Now, let me give you an example. In the last rerun elections, some of the seats in the elections were inconclusive. Now, the rules of the election that were put forward by INEC itself clearly says that where the margin of win is less than the number of voters that have not voted, that election is inconclusive. And so those people that have not voted should be allowed to vote before those seats can be returned. But in that election, over 7 seats were returned in favor of the PDP that were inconclusive. We're shouting all over here. Nobody answered that. Nobody has responded to that. In this election that we're going into on the 10th of December, this date, 10th of December, was first pronounced by Governor Nyesom Wike. He announced it when he met with some people, that now INEC is saying, INEC is now telling him that the election will hold on the 10th of December. Let us see how they will now do it on the 10th of December. Where did he have that meeting with INEC, where that date was given to him? We were not invited to that meeting.
You're alleging that he has information.
Of course he has.
That you're not privy.
Of course.
Because he's the governor.
That is not what the rules of this election say. There is no special provision for governors when it comes to dealing with electoral matters. So he's a party, he's an interested party in the election.
So you're saying
and
that
he cannot have any meeting with INEC that we are not part of, where a sensitive information such as the date of the election will be divulged to him in the absence of other parties.
That INEC is not fair in this game.
What I am saying is that it is clear that he is playing tricks with the Nigerian people. He has his game plan which he works on, and then he goes to the public and then he rants and shouts, but under that ranting and shouting, everybody can see what is going on.
But
and this time
you have said that INEC is giving the PDP and Governor Wike favors.
Yes, I have said so.
And I've given you
instances
that there is no level playing field.
Yes, there was no level playing field.
There is still no level playing field. Is that what you're saying?
The elections have not held on the 10th. All we are asking for from INEC, all we are asking from the security agencies is that there should be a level playing field where every Rivers man and woman will be free to cast their votes and have their votes counted.
Because
that's all we want.
If you take these issues one after the other, do you have fears that INEC will conduct a free and fair poll on December 10?
I believe that as stakeholders, if we all work together, we can achieve an election that will be free, fair, and credible. The problem we have is that the governor, who should be the leader of the state, who should be speaking in a manner that can bring all of us together, that can unite us to be able to conduct this election in the interest of the people of Rivers State, is the one spreading fear. He's the one stoking the fires. He's the one urging his people to resist arrest, to fight. He will confront this. There will be fire for fire. There will be this for that.
That is perhaps because he says he has information how your party and chieftains of your party are planning to use the police and the security agencies and INEC to manipulate the process.
All I will say is this: if you have information that is credible and genuine, put it out there for us to look at. For example,
he made a list, he read out the list of names of chieftains of your party, and they allotted security men for them for this election.
I was amused by what he did. First of all, a man brings out a list. He's the one holding the list. Did you see any police logo or anything on the list to show that this? Who is the person?
Security, chief security officer of the state, and perhaps he has.
That's why I'm saying that he needs to get a copy of the Constitution so he understands exactly what his role is. He's chief security officer of the state. He wants to be the chief electoral officer of the state. He wants to be the chief enforcement officer of the state. He wants to be everything. That is not his role. Excuse me, Sharon, in this same election that we're talking about, INEC will declare a result. Wike and the PDP will come out and say that one is not acceptable. They will not take this unless the ones that are declared in their own favor. And then when it is declared in their favor, even where they did not win, that one, there is no problem with it. How can you have such double standards? How can you operate with such clear double standards?
The current unpopular nature of your party is glaring right now.
Unpopular nature of my party?
Yeah, your party is not popular in Rivers State as we speak. And the results of the elections are clear. Senator Abe.
Sheung, there has been no elections in Rivers State. You cannot have, I cannot be holding a PVC and you are holding an AK-47. That is not a fair contest. We want an election that will be PVC against PVC, not a PVC against AK-47.